There is about 20,000 metric tons of gold stashed away in India's households and temples. And Prime Minister Narendra Modi is trying to incentivize people to put the gold that they hoard into the banks. And he's launched 3 ways to do that. A gold deposit plan offering tax-exempt interest rates, paper gold in the form of bonds linked to the metal's price, and locally minted coins. Now, the aim is to put the wealth to work in India's financial system and to benefit the economy by creating growth and jobs. Keeping in mind, India competes with China as the world's largest gold consumer, and the government wants to reduce bullion imports because they're pushing up the current account deficit, and they're also driving down the value of the rupee. But so far, the gold monetization scheme hasn't had much success. It was launched about 2 weeks ago. Only 400 grams of gold have been deposited. That's about $15,000 worth, so really not much. And one reason being cited is that there aren't enough gold testing centers. The government has agreed to address this. But even if that does get addressed, and even with the added bonus of gold earnings being completely taxed, it may take a lot more Indians to take. Shweta has more.
For Indians, buying or hoarding gold is part of tradition. From weddings to its biggest festival, Diwali, celebrations are synonymous with buying the yellow metal. That's the reason the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi decided to launch a scheme to monetize the gold lying with Indians by bringing it into the economy. The gold monetization scheme asks investors to deposit a minimum of 30 grams of gold with banks. The gold can be later withdrawn with interest in either gold or cash. The scheme works like a fixed deposit. The investment period ranges from 1 year to 15 years, and the gold can be withdrawn premature after paying penalty if the need arises. The interest on gold will be calculated on the weight of gold and the appreciation of the precious metal. The other way is sovereign gold bonds with a minimum investment of 2 grams to a maximum of 500 grams for a period of 8 years.
But the problem is that in most cases, people's jewelry will be melted into bars. And in India, there's a sentimental value attached to jewelry as it is passed from one generation to another. That's the reason that many families, and especially women, would not like to see their jewelry being melted.
The Indian government launched the scheme right before India's biggest festival, Diwali, to take advantage of the gold buying spree. But consumers are not as enthusiastic.
I will never go for this scheme because I buy jewelry to wear. I don't want you to turn into bricks or biscuits or anything. So when I buy jewelry, I buy it for my use only. I think every woman will do that only.
I would invest my gold in this time, and even then I'd have to think about it.
The gold belongs, and ladies are, that gold is invariably in the form of jewelry. You are going to convert it into bricks. Is any lady going to permit you to do that? I mean, they don't let the husbands touch it, they let the government touch it. No way.
Dheeraj Dheer is a third-generation jeweler. He tells us that his sale saw no increase because of the scheme. And this scheme will only make people convert their black or unaccounted wealth into white or legal money. Black money is a huge problem in India, and the loopholes in the scheme make it easy for people to buy gold with the money and convert it into white or legal money without being asked any questions.
Indian women love their gold too much to part with it. They would never give away their gold. What this scheme will do is make it easier to convert their black money into white by buying gold in cash from the market and depositing it in banks.
India imports 1,000 tons of gold every year, a purchase that makes a huge dent in its current account deficit. This is not the first time the Indian government has tried to use gold to reduce its current account deficit. Many a times it has tried to bring gold imports down by increasing the import duty, but the degree of success has been limited. The gold monetization scheme is another effort to convince gold owners in India to part with their gold. Shweta Bajaj, CCTV, New Delhi.